That is a nostalgic sound. Hello and welcome to Phantasy Star Universe. I'm not sure what's going to happen with this video, how many of these videos are going to do, or what's going to be going on, but we are here playing some PSU. Man, oh man, has it been a very long time. Well, I can't say very long time because I did play Clementine before. As you'll see, I have a character in Clementine. About almost 300 hours on him. It's been quite a bit of time playing him, but either way, it has been a hot minute since I have really fully immersed myself into Phantasy Star, this Phantasy Star Universe. And so, what are we getting ourselves into? What's going on? Is this your first video of mine? Hey, I'm Chrono. I usually play a lot of PSO2 and PSO2 NGS, but we're taking it back a little bit and we're jumping into some PSU. Now, I will say how long these videos go, or this whole series goes in general, is going to very much depend on you guys as the viewer. So when I toss a comment on the video, helps it a ton. Make sure to like the video if this is something you guys actually want to see more of. But I wanted to go ahead and just kind of go back to something that I really enjoyed. As far as my history with Phantasy Star games go, this was the one I really dove into. Blue Burst was not the first I got into, even though it did come before this one. This is what I got into first, and then, you know, from there, we branched out into other Phantasy Star games, played Portable to Infinity, played Zero, played Nova, so on and so forth. But this is my first love when it comes to Phantasy Star games. So I thought, why not do a series covering it? Playing a brand new character from scratch. I mean, I have a character already. I'm not making a different character than what I had beforehand. It's basically gonna be the same type of character, but you can't really make a series and be like, hey, look, here's my character that's already level 180. You know, it's just weird, right? So we're gonna be making a human male because I'm super boring. I actually have not gone through these settings in a while, so there'll be a little bit of a cut while I sit here and customize my character. All right, and here we are with our fully customized character. Man, I forgot just how bad some of the faces were in PSU. To be honest, I think this is why my original character that I played in PSU was a cast. Fun fact, the old school version of Chrono way back in the day was a cast Fortigunner. You would never have guessed. Well, I guess cast Fortigunner until the master classes came out, then became Gunmaster, I believe. Something like that. Or Master Gunner, one of the two. Either way, let's go ahead and click finish. Now, we're not going to keep this current look. We are going to change things up. As you can see, my hair clips super bad. I'm not sure what transfers between characters. I forget how that actually works. It's been so long since I had more than one character, or if even my room is the same. But we're gonna hop into the room, see if that's different. I believe it might be different between characters. It is. Okay, different between characters. Nice. We have access to this. Okay, this is the same. So we are gonna steal some money from our previous character. We're only using this specifically for fashion purposes. We are not going to be buying any gear. We're not going to be jump starting anything along those lines. We're only using it for fashion purposes. Also, I have an outfit I plan on wearing just for the series, because honestly, fashion is kind of expensive in this. So I wanted to get something that just kind of reminds me of my PSO2 character, and that's kind of it. Fun fact, in the character creator, you have no ability to use some of the hairstyles as well as some of the accessories. It does cost money to make this change, so we're going to use money for. I'm going to put the money right away again. We are going to go ahead and change our hair. So let's go hair and accents, because we'll have access to more. So yeah, as you can see, we're at like 63 hairstyles, and that's just because they have all the hairstyles with accessories, which get in a little later. Basically, it's like two halves of hair. So like you have the front half and the back half. I'm going to think of what hairstyle I went with. Oh, this is like a throwback to PSO2 hair, and the bangs and whatnot. It's kind of what around you have back then. I think it was, oh, this was a hairstyle we used for a while, actually. That reminds me of Phantasy Star Portable. I think we'll rock that. We get a good set of glasses to go with it. And you know what? Those aren't bad. These aren't bad either. The red is not really... Oh, nope, there it is. Circle glasses. Kind of perfect eyeglasses. Yeah, so you can't mix and match accessories. Unfortunately, you get one accessory slot, so this will probably be it right here. That was pretty quick. Nice and easy. Now, it has been a while since I've gone through the leveling process. As you can see, we started as a hunter. I believe we have, sword, twin sabers, saber, and a gun. I don't really know what the optimal, leveling path is. So if you are someone who plays Clementine or someone who's played PSU for a very long time, feel free to toss those ideas into the comments below, or you jump into Discord, man. Feel free to let me know directly. Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and just jump into a mission I mean, like I said, when I remember first starting characters out, the first thing you would do is do a mission on the Guardian's colony. Yeah, I'm actually kind of excited to jump back into this. My good buddy Kai actually streams PSU every other week. He has a PSU day where they jump in and play. Meaning to get into that. Like, I didn't have the time before. I have the time now. I just keep forgetting to jump in when they start playing. I believe Unsafe Passage is the quest we want to do. I may do some research between now and the next time we do an episode, but let's see. Yes, of course, we're using twin sabers. That is always going to be our favorite. It's always what we're going to work with first if we can. Now, there is no block or anything along those lines. But there are perfect attacks. So it is worth setting those up. Whew, I remember. It's been a while, but you slowly start to remember things. So yeah, I mean, the goal is going to be, of course, Acromaster. That's going to be what we always play, or always go for playing. The ability to use, or to have increased attack speed on our abilities. It's just, it's too nice. I love it way too much. We're just going to, we'll sell this at the end of our mission. If I remember correctly, there's a big emphasis on just vendoring stuff. We don't have anything, so we'll go ahead and do that. And then, okay, I'm getting used to the controls again. It's been a very, very long time since I've played, so. Okay. And for any of my audience that has played a lot of PSO2, who's not really accustomed, or at least NGS is not really accustomed to what's happening right now. As you can see, my PAs are leveling up. As you use PAs or spam them, they start to level. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the ability to well, I guess you do have the ability to block and dodge stuff. It's just basically RNG. You have an evasion stat. Basically, it checks that evasion stat versus the hit that you take in. If you evade it, you do like a little block animation. Not to everyone's liking. To be honest, sometimes irritating for me too. But that's what we lived back in the day, man. One thing that humans had on their side too was the extra stats that you would get when playing the acro classes. It was a benefit, so it's pretty cool. So as far as how the series is going to go, what we're going to be doing, are we playing with a bunch of people, so on and so forth. Basically, I just kind of want to get my get my feet wet, so to speak, back into the game. It's been a very long time since I messed with anything like this, and I don't know, I've been talking about playing PSU again for a very long time, and I figured I might as well share it with you guys. So why not? Not every video is going to be like this, where we go through every single mission. I probably will do some off-screen stuff as well. We'll got to do some. There's a lot of grinding to be done. Basically, I got to level a lot of classes to be able to even use Acromaster, I believe. I know I have to level Hunter and what was it? I think to some extent I ended up having to level everything, like Hunter, Ranger, and Force. And then I will have to level Acro Fighter and Acro Techer to a certain level before I can use Acromaster. I remember taking a really long time last time I played. So I'm not sure how long it'll take this time around. Ooh, key. Escape doll, very nice. Another monomate. I'm gonna pick these up just because we don't have anything right now. And it just means we don't have to spend any money on it, so we'll take those. But yeah, so we're planning on leveling those classes. I'm not sure how that works right now. I know there's an event going on, a Valentine's Day event. So I'll probably look into that, see what that's all about. But for this first episode, I figured I'd go through a casual first time mission. What you usually would do at the very, very start. Let's do this. There we go. I don't really even need to perfect attack that. We can actually even switch weapons. We can swap over to the sword. I mean, it's kind of good for AoE here, because it hits all these enemies. I just have to remember the perfect attack timing on this. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Also, we have pistol, saber. Phantasy Star Universe had one-handed weapons, where you could combine the like 2 different one-handed weapons. This was basically the equivalent of gun slash of the past. Which basically everyone can use a sword and a pistol, so you would have access to any type of damage type that you would need, essentially. That's another thing that's different, is PP is attached to the weapon, not your character. There we go. That's a mission completed. Did I seriously get a... That has to be the event, right? Like, that has to be the event. There's no way that actually just happened. So, this is going to be pretty funny for a first episode. When you completed missions, you had a small chance to get what's called a free mission, which you guys saw scroll up on the right-hand side of my screen. Those free missions are kind of like bonus missions. And what they would do is they would give you the ability to run a mission that you usually wouldn't have access to. That's normally pretty high value. A lot of times people, at least back in the day, would sell access to these missions. Only the person who got the mission can queue the mission up. And other people would, come along with you, of course. They essentially would get you tons of experience, tons of drops and things of that sort, and tons of mission points. And mission points were what you used, you saw just a moment ago, to level up your classes. You actually have 2 different things. You have level of your character and level of your classes. So leveling your classes are important to be able to access other classes. Specific classes can use specific weapons up to a specific rarity. And of course, if you wanted to use higher rarity weapons, or of course have access to classes or weapons of a different type, you had to use the class that corresponded with it. So free missions are huge for being able to do that. I think I might just hold on to this until like way later. Granted, you can't really stack these, so not using it almost immediately is kind of a bit of a bummer because I won't be able to get another one. But the fact that we got one is absolutely amazing. I'm probably going to hear in the comments spooned. That is fairly spooned, so you'll love to see it. But yeah, so it's kind of crazy. And we got, of course, the 2 Gigishes. I don't think we're going to do anything much with them, but we'll keep them just because it's a different element. And this one's light, so actually we'll go ahead and equip that one for now. If I remember how that works again, I think, yep, add to palette, there we go. And we can just go ahead and customize our palette here. So let's put that there, let's put our twin swords at the top, and let's put our saber and handgun at the bottom. Cool. And we can add this other Giga share, so we're good to go there. Awesome, and then we'll sell our basic sword, we don't really need it. And we'll go on to the next mission. So the way missions work, at least in PSU, is it's a lobby-based system. Each lobby that you're going into has a set of missions that you can actually do from that lobby. Oh, I actually wasn't paying attention. I wanted to see what that message was. Oh, it's still going. Oh, here we go. Okay, it's been a while since I've played. So Nanoblast is something that the beasts can do. Beasts have access to Nanoblast. Basically, it's essentially, for my PSO2 guys out there, essentially it's like a photon blast, but it's like specific to beasts. Every race has their own, and it's a bit different for everyone. Beasts kind of transform. If you're thinking to yourself, what's a beast? Yeah, races are different in this game than in PSO2, so keep up. Of course, there are no parties that are currently going at this time. It's, I believe, Fight for Food is the mission here. What's Rising Malice? Rising Malice is interesting. We might mess around with some of these other missions. Right now, we're just gonna do Fight for Food. We're on nostalgia train at the moment. We're just gonna continue the nostalgia train, but essentially, we're just gonna kind of push through and run these missions as they are. It's almost like second nature for me to go to specific ways. At least I've done them for so long. I just remember where I'm going all the time. Yeah, these guys are dark, right? Yeah. So if I was using that light armor, I would actually take more damage since they deal dark damage. But since they're dark and I have a light weapon, I'll do more damage to them. Melee weapons can swing without using PP. Range weapons have to have PP to shoot. So you want to make sure that you have access to PP if you're going to be using a range weapon, or at least have access to multiple range weapons. Pretty straightforward as far as like how this process works. I just have my light attack and I have my photon art. Photon art's on Y, light attack's on X. Not a lot to explain there, to be perfectly honest. And leveling could be pretty crazy nowadays. It could go by really, really fast if like there's some event you need to be doing or whatever. And we're not going to forego those events. We are still going to utilize them if they're available to us. I'm not trying to make this take insanely long amounts of time of just like, oh, I can only do all the old missions, so on and so forth. We're going to take advantage of everything that's there for us. And I'm not going to mess around with the money that I had access to until we get like a good ways in, unless it's like stupidly grindy or just really dumb, like not really fun or whatever. I'm not going to really take advantage of the weapons that we're using, or can have access to at least. Let's see if I can, there we go. Oh, there's the first evade you guys have seen. I actually blocked something, and that was because of my my evasion stat. We have our 4 key cards. We can open this up and continue, and we also are missing some HP, so let's go and pop that. I'm actually not sure if Acromasters can use double sabers at all, but my 3 favorite weapons are twin sabers, twin daggers, and double sabers, so you'll likely see me using mostly those. I don't think Acromaster has access to double saber, unfortunately. Double saber had a pretty decent movement PA, so pretty nice. I'm not going to be opposed to not playing with other people, by the way. We definitely will play with other people for sure. But usually in games like this, people have a really big, like, I'm not going to say like a hard-on for it or anything along those lines, but people really want to like help you out as much as possible. And I know for some people that like watching these series, they kind of want to get into it themselves, or they want to replicate some of the things. So at least for the start, I'm not going to get into any of that. Cool thing is anyone I've interacted with in the Clementine Discord, or at least whenever I streamed this way back then, and played along with others, everyone was really, really cool. So likely you will find people to play with. You'll find people that are doing things. Not a ton of people, because not a lot of people are playing on these servers, but it's here, and you can do a lot of things self-sufficiently. So they have made some changes to make the game very playable. I will say that it was very exciting to play this when the Clementine service had just launched. I know a lot of people were jumping on, and it was pretty fun to jump in at that time. That time has since passed, of course. Oh, level 8. Maybe we'll get our Assault Crush to level 11 so you guys can see how PA leveling works. Whoop. Now, spacing and like placement was very important, because you really didn't have the ability to dash out of the way of anything, block anything. There was no countering. You simply had where you moved your character, and then of course the roll. Of course it drops right on top of an item. Got another Gigish. What element is it? Ooh, lightning. I'm not sure if they made these just drop with higher percentages, but pretty nice. I guess I can give a bit more information on how like weapons work. So something I know PSO2 fans are used to, and not NGS fans completely, is weapons come with elements on them by default, and they're different percentages. Mostly it's pretty much pure RNG, whether you get the drop or whether you make the weapon itself, because there is weapon crafting, of course. What element you get in the percentage, and the higher the percentage, the more damage it deals based on that elemental percentage. It also works against you, so if enemies have a resistance to that percentage of element, it also will make it deal even less damage if you have a higher percentage of element. So keep that in mind. This is effectively the boss of this area, Seed Vance. And in at least old school games like this, in PSU, the enemy had more than one hit spot. You could hit them in both at the same time to deal double damage. Made weapons like grenade launchers very, very powerful. Got a purple line and a Stella line. Cool thing about different armor is its element will change the photon colors on your outfit, so you can kind of see what you're using. Like if I was going to use this purple line, it's light, so it makes it white. I need to use this other, the Stella line, it's lightning, so it makes it yellow. Pretty dope. Got our mission points. Got an S rank because we killed all the enemies. 28 or 26 mission points, which gets us to Hunter level 2. And then we can continue on to the next area. Now, this is another thing that happened pretty commonly, depending upon what you were trying to do. Let's say you wanted to farm this mission, you wouldn't actually continue forward here. You would actually quit the mission itself. I believe it was like party And then leader rights abandon mission, that's it. You would quit and it would take you back to the previous lobby that we can do the mission again. Very common, that would happen over and over again. That way you can farm missions consistently. We're going to continue because we're not going to, do these missions like that. It brings us to our final lobby, which at this lobby, you can see, I believe this is Parm outside, which like for most of us was basically like Earth equivalent. There's a vendor here you can talk to. We'll go ahead and sell the extra stuff here. I'm actually going to take a bunch of these items off really quick, so don't mind me. We're not really going to worry about... you know what? I mean, sure, we'll do that. We'll keep the swords, just because we're using mostly Twin Saber, but we'll keep the Gigishes. I mean, they're all different elements too. Kind of cool. They'll have all these different elements we've had to drop. I'm not sure if they've changed that at all. Caroline, we'll keep the purple line just to have something else of a different element in case we come across something that's strong to us. For example, if anything that is using earth hits us and we have lightning, we're going to take like double damage, so we got to be careful. And we'll again just sell off these. I'm not sure if these are of any use. I believe early crafting didn't really matter very much, so we'll just sell those off, no big deal. And I believe there was an option in Sharebox store. Yeah, you can put those in there. So cool, all things set there. We're not really worried about grinders because we're not really grinding anything. And then of course in missions like this, it depended upon which lobby you were going through, but some have missions to go back the other direction. So sometimes you would just do 2 missions back to back. I don't remember, I think this one does have a mission going back. Yeah, so you have a couple of missions actually. A Fantastic Voyage. It's a TA, okay. Secret Arcs Pricks. Castle of Monsters. I'll be honest, I don't remember any of these missions. None of them. Not a single one. This one has a picture from what... Okay, I remember that specific like area, but I don't remember these missions specifically, so... We'll go ahead and return back to City. And I think we might call it there for the first episode. I think I'm going to record another one right afterwards, checking out the event. So yeah, I think we'll call it there for the first episode. Not sure how long it's going to be. Again, the first few episodes are probably going to be recorded no matter what. But as much love as you guys show this, will let me know if you want to see this more of this, at least on the channel. As always, like if you enjoyed the video. So if you want to keep up with more, thanks again to the channel members. You guys are fantastic and I appreciate every single one of you. And I will see you all in the next video. Take care, my friends. Peace out.